How to make recommendations about health and well-being. Cómo hacer recomendaciones sobre la salud y el bienestar. Have you ever heard the phrase, seeing the world through rose-colored glasses? It means seeing things not as they are, but as you wish they could be. That's exactly what's happening when you give someone a recommendation. You're imagining something better, something that hasn't happened and might never happen. In the beginning of your Spanish journey, you learned how to talk about the world as it is. Your life activities, daily routines, weekend plans, all about your friends and family, where you went, what you did. Real stuff, observable, factual. But now something shifts. You start saying things like, I hope she sleeps 8 hours. I want you to rest. I recommend they eat protein. These aren't facts, they're possibilities, things you'd like to happen, but they haven't happened yet. They live in a different part of your mind, the world of ideas, hopes, and influence. This is where Spanish does something interesting. It treats those kinds of thoughts, the hopes, feelings, and recommendations, not as a different tense, but as a different mood. So it's still the present tense, but it's a different mood. Because your mood has changed, not how you feel, but how you see the action. It's no longer a sure thing. It lives in the world of uncertainty, possibility, and wishful thinking. And Spanish marks this shift with a different verb form, the subjunctive mood. It's used for what you hope will happen. It hasn't happened, it might not happen, and it's not a fact. It's your idea, your wish, or recommendation. It's like switching lenses. You're no longer stating facts. You're influencing, hoping, imagining. And Spanish has a way to show that, a change in the verb to match the mood. So how do you know when to shift into the subjunctive mood? Spanish gives you clues, little signals that tell you, hey, you're no longer in the land of facts, you're in the world of feelings, hopes, and influence. These clues come in the form of expressions, especially expressions of emotion and influence. When you say, es mejor que, quiero que, es malo que, te recomiendo que, etc. You're not reporting something that's happened. You're trying to influence it, react to it, or wish it into being. That's why Spanish switches gears and uses the subjunctive, to show the action lives in the world of possibility, not certainty. It's like putting on those rose-colored glasses. You're seeing things not as they are, but how you want or feel them to be. So whenever your sentence expresses a hope, a feeling, or a push for someone else to act, think subjunctive mood. It's not a fact yet, but maybe it could be. Now let's see how this all plays out in real life. Like when we talk about health and wellness. Imagine you're giving advice to someone, a friend, a patient. You might say things like, es importante que duermas bien. Quiero que bebas más agua. Es necesario que hagas ejercicio. Recomiendo que tomes un descanso. These are all recommendations. They're not saying the person is doing these things. You're saying they should do them. You're hoping, advising, or trying to influence someone's behavior. And that's why you step into the subjunctive mood. You're putting on those rose-colored glasses again, imagining a healthier future, one where the person feels better. But it's not real yet. It's just a possibility. So when you use expressions like this, you're in subjunctive territory because you're talking about what could or should happen, not what is. So how do you form the subjunctive? Well, first start with the yo form of the present tense. So with hablar, it's hablo. Then you drop the o, so the stem is hable, and then you add the opposite ending. And what does that mean? Well, AR verbs in the present tense typically have as, a, amos, an, and the ER, IR verbs usually have es, es, hemos, en. So when you give a verb the opposite ending, it just means you're going to flip it, and the AR verbs are now going to have es, and the ER, IR verbs are now going to have A's. So for example, hablar becomes hable, hables, hable, hablemos, hablen. And comer becomes coma, comas, coma, comamos, coman. Now, the reason why you have to take the yo form stem is so you don't miss on the irregular verbs, such as the ones that have G, like tener, tengo. You want to get that stem so that you can say tenga, tengas, tenga, tengamos, tengan. Or pensar, which has a vowel change, pienso. So you can say piense, pienses, pensemos, piensen. And that's another thing. In the same way that the present tense, the nosotros form of those vowel changing verbs does not change, the same holds true for the present tense of the subjunctive. Now, if you're stating your personal truth, you are not going to use the subjunctive. So when we say, I believe that or I think that in English, it sometimes sounds like we're not sure. But in Spanish, this is a statement of your truth, and therefore you would not use the subjunctive. However, if you doubt it and you say no creo que, or you question it and you say crees que, then you're doubting or wondering if something is true, and that triggers the subjunctive. So what have we learned? When you give advice, express a hope, or share a feeling about what you want someone else to do, you're not describing facts, you're describing possibilities. And in Spanish, that means switching into a different mood, the subjunctive mood. A verb form that reflects the uncertainty, emotion, or influence behind your words. It's like putting on rose-colored glasses. You're not describing the world as it is, but as you'd like it to be. So the next time you say, I hope you feel better, or I want you to eat healthier, remember, you're speaking from the heart, not reporting facts, but imagining a better possibility. And in Spanish, that's exactly when the subjunctive is used.